guys, welcome back to another Evo video. Currently washing the Eclipse and the Evo because it's been sitting outside for quite some time. But today is a progress video and I'm excited because I ordered a bunch of parts. A bunch of parts came in and hopefully we have this thing pretty much up to around 85 to 90% done. Now, the issue is that Mitsubishi Owners Day 2024 is in 3 weeks and a half. So the goal is to make it to the event. Hopefully we can. So they got the oil cooler on. Gene's trying to figure out the power steering situation, but
we're in the process of that with this, so we'll get all that figured out later.
Yeah.
And then the oil cooler lines. So it's just hooked up, but it's not. The lines are not hooked up yet.
Right.
And then we got to do the starter.
Throttle cable's on. We got to figure out the front motor mount situation.
Yep. So once we lower it, we'll put the new mount on. We put the radiator back in, hook up the hoses, connect some sensors, and kind of just fill in some things that are missing. So like the vacuum lines and.
You think it'll be ready for mod? What are your odds?
Yeah, if you don't go out.
I'm going out. Got a upper radiator hose that basically allows you to run a half rad on the Evos. This is going to be the radiator fan that goes on this side. We got the fluids. So this one is the automatic transmission fluid from Mitsubishi. We got the multi-gear. So this is basically these three right here for transmission, which you end up using. I would use OEM stuff. We got this right here, and then this one is for ACD specifically. So I know it says automatic transmission fluid, but for the Evos, you gotta use that for the pump. On this side, for my guys that have ACD, and then this is what I use for my transfer case. So this is the Redline Heavy Shockproof synthetic oil. And these are two of these sensors that I have. Well, one's missing, one's broken. This one's the crank sensor, the cam sensor for the exhaust side, which goes right here. It's broken. Here's the part number in case you guys need it. And then this is the oil pressure switch that goes on the bottom. I had an extra AEM fluid sensor kit, luckily, so I didn't have to buy one. They're super expensive. They're like 180 bucks plus shipping. So I was super happy to find this in a box. But this basically reads the pressure for the fuel. So what are we gonna do first? We're gonna focus on the harness.
Yeah, we're gonna focus on the harness first.
Let me see. So there's two separate harnesses. You have the engine bay harness, and then you have the fuse box harness right here. So
yeah, these are injector harness.
Okay. Coils.
This one goes straight up coil. Coil.
And this is the Ohm Racing wiring harness for those of you guys that are interested. Check out their website. It's basically a wire tuck harness made for us Evo guys specifically.
One who's doing the harness, so yeah. No, but we're good, man. Shit, we're here with Miguel, putting the injectors and all the wiring.
What up, Jay?
What up, my guy?
Yeah, fuel pressure right here. Boom. That's reverse?
Yeah.
There you go. Alright, so old sensors out.
Tech cam. There.
Nice.
Tech cam.
Exhaust cam. Boom, we're in TPS. Boom. Alternator and oil pressure. This is ISC, right?
Huh?
The ISC? Is this like the
IEC.
idle oil control valve or something?
Idle control box. So
This, yeah, so this one, yeah, Centro.
Yeah.
So the MyVec connector is right next to the fuel rail, right on the bottom. There's a little plug right in there, right there. Okay, we have the brake level plug that goes on to the reservoir on top of the master cylinder. Oh, okay. Oh, I was looking at it backwards. So the one that says VSS or SSV, that's your speed sensor that goes on the transmission. So we went ahead and unhooked the shifter linkage bracket to get better access to the speed sensor so that we could put the clip on it. And so once you extend the harness from an ACD, guys, all these sensors here are, yeah, I see like a plug right here, I see a plug right here, and I see a plug right here, and then I see, oh, that's the headlight. So I see 3 plugs for the ACD for sure. Just gotta find out which one's which. Okay, that's ACD valve. That's ACD PC. This is ACD relay. And then this is ACD pressure. And for the last plug is an ACD relay, but we don't know where it's at. Alright, so old crusty OEM fuse box harness, which is separate from the engine harness. I'm gonna try to figure this one out right now. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and take off the driver's side fender to give us more clearance with the fuse box harness.
Okay, so it needs to go here. Nice time.
Yeah. So Angel hooked up the fuse box bolt right here, ground on the chassis right here.
Yeah, this is ground.
So this one says battery, hooking that up to the fuse box. The one that says BFBC hooks up to the chassis harness. And then this one? ABS. ABS PC also hooks up to the harness there. So SFBC. Alright, so there's clips throughout the chassis. Just clip everything back on.
You need the other little piece right here.
That's missing? Alright, so we got most of the harness attached. We're having a small issue here with the fuse box. There's usually this little extra piece that comes out of it, which is right here. We're not sure. We're basically not able to plug in a couple of things we got to figure out. I'm gonna go ahead and ask Racing to confirm, but for now we're gonna go ahead and jump over to the power steering stuff, oil cooler, and just try to progress as much as possible. It took us like 20 minutes, but this bolts to this, and then you feed it through this side, and then it goes right here and it bolts onto that right there. Alright, so here we have the power steering STM reservoir. As you guys can see, there's an opening on the bottom. It comes with an including 90-degree brass fitting, as you guys can see right there. Some hardware, some hoses. We're gonna go ahead and put Teflon tape on the brass fitting. Put it on the bottom. Okay, the ACD one's ready to go back on. It's already like 92 degrees. It's super hot. I'm gonna go ahead and take care of some errands, edit a little bit, and then go to the gym. But I'll come back to it later today and pretty much tidy up as much as I can by myself, and keep on progressing. It's looking really tight for Mitsubishi Owners Day, especially because I'm going to be going to TJ at the end of this week, and then we have the DSM shootout, which I'm super excited for, and then coming back is Mitsubishi Owners Day. So man, there's a lot of stuff going on, but I'm excited for what's to come. Either way, slow and steady wins the race. Shouldn't rush the process, because if I rush this thing, there's going to be little things that are missing that are going to make the car run just super unreliably, and I just rather do things right, take my time with it. Alright, so the sun's pretty much going down. This is honestly the only time where the weather is actually bearable, so I'm honestly very grateful for the friends that I've had during my lifetime when it comes to building cars. Without them, honestly, I don't think I'd be able to have an Evo swapped Eclipse or doing a build this extensive, which to many it might not be, but to me these kind of builds are pretty crazy. So it kind of, the only bad thing about that is that I kind of got used to always having someone around me. And when it comes to even the smallest tasks, I expect someone to be there with me, even if it's just for guidance or just support. And I kind of lost that sense of independence when it comes to working on my cars. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not the best at working on cars, but I know how to get around. I know how to do a bunch of things, and I can do a lot of things myself. And now that we're kind of on a time crunch, I made a list of pretty much everything I have to that I'm gonna try to do throughout this video by myself. The guys already pretty much left. I went out, got a couple bolts. The subframe is not fully attached, so I'm gonna go ahead and pretty much put all the bolts on, tighten that on. The drive shaft bolt on the drive shaft is not fully tightened as well. I want to tighten that. Pretty much put the oil cooler bolts on. I have the transmission fluid, transfer fluid, ACD fluid I have to put on. And then of course I have the front mount intercooler, the crash beam, wastegate, I mean, whatever I could get done. I'm gonna go ahead and get under the car, start focusing on the drive shaft and on the subframe bolts. And then I'll get back out here and pretty much start working on everything else with you guys. You guys have no idea how much of a pain in the ass it is to film and work on cars. Like, as much as I love doing it, it would be so much easier just to get straight to the point and just get things done, dude. Like, filming makes everything take twice as long, minimum. Just because we have to film everything, make sure everything's on camera. Luckily we do have a tent, but let me show you guys the progress. I hooked up the oil cooler last night, hooked up the subframe, so hopefully the motor mount should fit now. If not, I'll go ahead and try again once the car's on the ground, just to make sure the chassis isn't flexing at all. I ended up finding one of the power steering hard lines that I guess goes on this portion of the hard line that goes towards the front of the car. The top one here hooks up to the bottom of the reservoir, and then this one I think goes to the power steering pump. The only issue I'm having is I'm not sure which direction or how this kind of goes, and then the diameter of this fits this hose just fine, but this reservoir has a way smaller diameter. So they do give you some hose, but then this hose diameter is way smaller than this, so I'm gonna have to go ahead and ask someone from STM to help me out with this. The ACD one fits just fine, included hardware, and of course it's just the two bottom hoses. Everything's hooked up. There is an ACD relay as far as the harness goes that we have to hook up. I'm gonna go ahead and pretty much do the transmission fluid, which is over there, OEM Mitsubishi, 3 quarts. Besides that, I want to put the headlight back on, the fender back on. I want to go ahead and put the front mount, painted over it. These are super expensive. This is, honestly, it's a little bit bent down here, but I mean, either just kind of fix this one up a little bit or spend an extra $700, which building an Evo is not cheap, guys. It's honestly been a super expensive journey, and I know it'll be worth it, but it's not for the weak. So I'm not too sure if you guys can see that, but there's 2 hard lines basically on this side that aren't hooked up right here. So if you guys know what those are for, let me know. The Cusco bracing's on, cross members on, and the drive shaft is also fully hooked up and bolted down with new bolts and nuts, and we should be good to go on the bottom after we do the fluids. So go ahead and test fit the motor mount, see if it fits a little bit better now that the subframe is on all the way. Because the issue we were having beforehand was that the motor mount was sitting too high. So Angel was like, dude, it's because your subframe is sitting too low. It's basically dragging because it's not fully bolted up. So we got the 2 bolts on the back of the subframe, and honestly, it still looks like it's not gonna fit, bro. Anything, the fitment's worse. Yeah, I'm just gonna end up waiting on this. Not sure what's going on. If you guys have had a similar situation, let me know, but it's not going on. So I'm gonna wait till the car's down again. But is it me, or has it been really hot this summer? It's like 100 degrees right now. If it wasn't for this tent, I don't think I'd be doing this. Alright, so fender and headlights are back on. I was talking to Ohm Racing in regards to the ACD relays. So basically, you guys see these two relays in the back. You guys can pretty much remove them off your firewall because we're going to be deleting one. And we're going to be transferring the ACD one over to the front to plug into the remaining plug right here. So it cleans up your engine bay just by removing it from the back of the firewall, putting it up front, and getting rid of the other one because we're no longer going to need it. Just talked to STM. I think they sent me the wrong reservoir, so they're going to send me the correct one. I'm going to ship this one back. This one's for a 2G Eclipse power steering pump, so it's a little bit different. That's why it wasn't fitting. But we got the ACD one for sure, and then this is the coolant reservoir one I'm going to go ahead and put on right now. Okay, so 2 relays, both the same size. Let's see if it fits on the ACD. It looks like that's it, actually. No. Is it this one? Okay, so it's this one. So this is the ACD relay. I'm not sure why I have this other guy in here. It's like a spooling up plug. I'm guessing it's for the injectors if I recall, but at least we're relocating this relay onto the bottom of the bumper. Let me take this off real quick. There you go. Boom. And then we can go ahead and bolt this up somewhere so you guys can see it has the entry for the well, I know exactly where. There's a little hole for a bolt. Alright, so coolant reservoir. I'm gonna go ahead and install the brass fitting. So it comes with hardware, but I do have some extra JDC titanium bolts, which by the way I use Miguel DSM for a discount code. You can pretty much bling out your engine bay with these little things. So alright, so looking good. I'm gonna go ahead and start off by adding some of the OEM Mitsubishi fluid to the transmission. I went out to Harbor Freight to pick up this guy right here. It's like the Pittsburgh gear oil and fluid pump. It's like 12 bucks, but it'll help you get the job done. There's no fluid currently on the transmission, so we don't have to, worry about the drain plug. Fill plug, if I recall correctly, should be this guy right here. So all you gotta do is place this right here, screw it on, and then this goes inside the hole, and then you pump and pump until you have all 3 quarts and it starts leaking a little bit of oil, and that's how you know the transmission's full. So 17 millimeter for the fill plug. Turn it sideways because there's still some fluid in there. And then we go ahead and do this 2 more times. Just for now. Alright, so I just quickly mocked up the radiator. If you guys know what the half rad guys do in regards to this, definitely want to switch this out in the future. You need to run a straight hose up top. You can keep the same stock radiator hose for that, but I just kind of put it in here just to kind of have everything in the bay. I'm gonna go ahead and drop the car on the ground. We're pretty much good for now. Angel told me to tow it to his shop to finish it off before mod, because we have access to tools, lift, everything, and he's pretty much an Evo shop, so we might be doing that when I come back from Mexico. So I'm pretty much gonna make this into a roll for now. I'm gonna go ahead and wait for the other power steering reservoir. We still gotta hook up the rest of the harness, do the piping, just a bunch of little details to kind of get this thing ready for its first start. But dude, it's coming along, and I'm excited. Car's finally on the ground again. This car's been down for at least 2 years, and even though I can't finish this car, just like all the other Evo YouTubers out there, I start something, I finish it, and that's something that I know I always do. So